And we are back here with another video today. Today we are looking at the Arizona State Sun Devils and Kenny Dillingham's fourth year at the program, looking to improve upon a slightly disappointing season last year, 8-5 after losing some key pieces, looking to build upon that, but also trying to avoid the same downgrade as last year with key losses of obviously pieces like Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson. Those are key pieces. Also, defensively, a lot of key pieces lost, but bringing in a lot of transfers to see how that will go. So, welcome to the Football Expert. My name is Reichley Ruby. Hit that subscribe button down below. Join the community of fellow football fans. Help me reach my goal of 6,600 subscribers by the end of July. Like the video if you enjoy it, and comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Let me know what you think about Arizona State football. Where do you think they will be? What do you think their record will be as we get ready and into this next season of 2026 football in the college football level? Man, I'm excited. We are counting down the days. We are just a little over a month away from the start of the college football season. So let's get into it. First game of the year for Arizona State is a home game against Morgan State. This is an easy win. I'm not going to go into it. They'll beat Morgan State, no issues. Road game against Texas A&M. My apologies, Texas A&M. I think that this is a loss. I think that Texas A&M is just a better team than Arizona State is. Obviously, last year you played Miss State, lost that game against honestly, way less talented Mississippi State team, and that's where I get some concerns. Is that if you're losing to Mississippi State, there's just no way you're beating A&M this year with the loss of Levitt. With the loss of your top running back and Brown, the loss of your top three wide receivers. That's kind of where I see the issues at. Cutter Boley, obviously the incoming quarterback, the transfer from Kentucky, after having 15 touchdowns, 12 interceptions last year, a little over 2,000 yards, but also taking 26 sacks. And that's the biggest issue that I have. A game like this, they're going to get killed on the offensive line if Arizona State cannot protect against a team like Texas A&M, which Texas A&M has some good edge rushers. They're not all elite, but they have some good guys there. Next game on the schedule is a home game, a neutral site game against Kansas. As far as I know, this is a game in London. Last time I said that, I know NC State and Virginia moved their game from Brazil back to America. So I don't know. From what I can see, it looks like a game that's going to be a game in London. Because of that, it just has a lot of interesting factors with it. The biggest factor, obviously, is it is far away from Arizona State, almost as far away in the world as you can get from Arizona State campus, going from the West Coast of the U.S. all the way to Europe. Obviously, it's a big flight for Kansas as well. This game is a head flip, in my opinion, because of that. I think the travels going to it's weird in week 0 games when you're doing it first game of the year, but week 3, I think that there could be a lot of issues that even the less talented team wins this game. But I am going to go with Arizona State. I think that they're better than Kansas, but I very well could see Kansas winning this game just because of the oddities involved in an international game, especially middle of the season, kind of middle of the season. Bye week after that, a home game against Baylor. Last year beat Baylor 27-24 on the road. So you would expect me to have them beating Baylor, but I do not. I think that Baylor is in a better position as a program. I like their transfer of DJ Lagway a whole lot more than I like Cutter Boley. The defense here for Arizona, they bring in a lot of transfer starters, guys like Jalen Thompson and even Winston from a team like Baylor. But even guys from the Mountain West like Owen Long at linebacker. The problem is there's just not a lot of continuity with this team. The offense also loses a ton of key pieces, not only at the skill positions, but also on the offensive line. And that's where I start to see issues, is that Baylor has I think, a better defense talent-wise, and I think a better quarterback. And when I'm looking at those things, I'm also seeing not only that, but I'm seeing the lack of continuity, which could become an issue here in this season for Arizona State. So I have a loss there to Baylor. Uh, and then a home game against Hawaii. I think they will win this game, but do remember Hawaii was a very good team last year. This was not a subpar, horrible team. So very easily could be a loss if you do not like if you look ahead of this game and we're automatically going to win it like they are against Morgan State. That's an easy win. Hawaii not so easy, but I do think Arizona State does win this game. Just don't look over them because they have a very dynamic offense. Road game against Texas Tech, and I see this as a loss, even with the loss of a guy like Brennan Sorsby at quarterback. Texas Tech defense is still going to be phenomenal this year, even though you don't have Jacob Rodriguez that time to the draft. But you do. Joey McGuire is a fantastic coach. He just is. Kenny Dillingham's a good coach too, but Joey McGuire is the elite of the elite in the Big 12 conference and even in college football. Home game against Kansas State. I went back and forth on this game, but I ended up choosing Kansas State in this game. And my rationale really starts with I think that Avery Johnson is going to be the better quarterback, along with the fact that I think Kansas State is going to surprise some people. I think the run game may not be too bad. The defensive pieces, especially at linebacker that they bring back, are going to be fantastic. And I think even in the wide receiver, I see a couple of guys that could end up being potential stars in the Big 12 conference. So a loss there to Kansas State. Road game against BYU. BYU, I think, is the best team in the Big 12 as of this moment, with Texas Tech losing Brennan Sorsby and kind of having a little bit of a dip at the quarterback position. Therefore, I think that BYU wins this game. Home game against Colorado. This is a game where I think that people are underestimating Colorado after a rough year last year. And I think that a lot of people are like, oh, Colorado, it's just beyond. It's not good anymore. But remember, this Colorado team did win 9 games a couple of years ago. This is not a horrible team, nor is it in a terrible position. Looking at Colorado, they do have a lot of pieces that they have to work on. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But you still have Julian Lewis. You have Richard Young coming in from Alabama, the running back that I really do like. You lose almost all your defensive pieces, but I think you bring in a lot of stars on defense that are just more talented than the stars that Arizona State brought in. But at the end of the day, I do think Julian Lewis is going to be a better quarterback than a lot of people expect him to be. I think a lot of people forget how talented he was going into last year. Then a road game against UCF. This is going cross country. This is one of the tougher games. Going cross country is one of the tougher games to have. And I just think that UCF's better. I could very well see Arizona State winning this game, but I just like Scott Frost in the direction that UCF is sending this program into. I think they get a win against a team like Arizona State. Next game on the schedule is a home game against Oklahoma State. I think that they win this game. I think that a lot of people are overestimating Oklahoma State. Drew Mestamaker and North Texas were good last year. The problem is that are they able to bring that same consistency that they had at North Texas into the Big 12? Because I just don't think that they can, or at least not at the same level. They have a lot of pieces that they have to replace, and therefore I think have a lot of issues that a lot of people aren't looking at. Like, just look at the fact that you're bringing a team that lost to USF, that lost to Tulane. These are teams that aren't bad by any means. They're not at all. But the problem is that these are not great teams when comparing them. Look at how Tulane played in the playoffs. Look at how UTSA, or I'm not sorry, not UTSA, USF played against superior competition. And I just don't think that this North Texas team, that's basically Oklahoma State's team now, is going to have that same production at that level. I think that they will improve Oklahoma State from the depths of last year, but I do think that they'll have issues. Final game of the season is a road game against the rival in Arizona State. I have this as a loss. I think that Arizona is just in a better position with Brett Brennan at head coach right now. I think that the consistency in recruiting is, I guess, what I mean. When I say that, I just don't think that Arizona State has had that consistency. that Arizona has at building talent, not just getting good recruits, but at building talent there in the system. So that's going to wrap up today's video. Hit one of the 2 videos down below. One will be a playlist of all my college football predictions, and hit the subscribe button up here. Help me reach that goal of 6,600 subscribers by the end of July. And we're getting to college football season. Let's go here. As always, have a great rest of your day. Bye.